let's talk about podcasting. How can someone even get started with that, right? There's so many tools out there. How can they get started for the novice or the beginner?
So you hit on it, all the tools you need, is most likely your phone. You can get started with your phone and AirPods if you wanted to. There's a great app called Anchor, which I believe is owned by Spotify. And it's basically a full podcasting studio in an app if you wanted to start that way. A lot of people use Zoom, right? Fire up Zoom, there's a record button, click record on Zoom, and you can record your conversation with your interview subject. So starting has never been cheaper, right? So even when I started, by the way, way back in 2007, GarageBand was free with the Mac, right? So if you had a Mac, you have GarageBand. The microphone cost, I want to say $100. And that was it. It was just, and then you just uploaded. Back then you could actually upload, I'm trying to remember where I uploaded to, but you'd upload and then, iTunes grabs your podcast and so forth. And there's lots of those services now. We produce and distribute lots of podcasts. And we use a service called podcast.co, which allows us to manage all of them by using one solution. It's like $50 a month. It's insane, it's so right? Cheap. It's so cheap. And even all the equipment that's here in my office, with the soundboard and the whatever it's called, what's the lift? Something called Liftcaster or something like that. Anyways, everything is like, I think under $2,000, right? And that's high end, right? Mm-hmm. So you do not need to invest in a $50,000 studio in your office to do high quality stuff. Getting to the real root of like, how do you get started? There's a little bit of just get started. The one thing that most people wrestle with is getting comfortable with their voice. Right? How do you sound? How do you think that went? And I think it helps to remind all of us ourselves, and I have to do it to myself all the time. It's like, you're going to suck at it at first, probably. It's okay. You think back about everything you've ever done in your life when you're a little kid. I remember when I started playing baseball as a second grader, I didn't get a single hit the entire first season I played. I was terrible, but I was playing in all-star games a couple of years later. Right? You stink at whatever you start for the most part. And you're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to restart yourself and all that type of stuff. But you will develop kind of your voice, your zone, right? Most advisors, as a little tip, not most, many advisors built their business using seminars, right? Lunch and learns, right? They will fill a room full of people to give a presentation, and just about every advisor that I've ever met would, do everything to get in front of a group of folks. Think of it as being in front of a group of folks. So when you're in front of this microphone, whether you're by yourself or speaking as you and I are, face to face across the screen, pretend you have an audience, right? Like, so as an example, when I record into a camera, I always have the viewfinder flipped around so I can see myself, because I feel like I'm talking to another person. I know it sounds really lame, but
I mean, you just works, like to look at yourself talk. I mean, I get it. You like to talk. Right. It's fine.
I never walk. I never walk past a mirror without stopping, right? But no, it helps, right? You make sure your face is animated. I used to work on phones. I think I'll probably get some head nods on this one from your listeners. One of my first jobs in this space was answering phones for mutual fund companies. Like, thank you for calling the Warburg Pincus Funds. This is Mike. How can I help you? That type of thing, right? And one of the things they trained us was smile before you pick up the phone, right? Everything about you lifts. You become, your voice changes and all that type of stuff. And it's so funny. You learn those little lessons when you're young and you still carry them through now. Like, smile when you're on your podcast, whether you're just speaking into the microphone and recording without a screen, or you're doing it video style like you and I are. The best of you will come out.
It changes everything. It changes everything.